Alright, this is Mirza Ali Hassan. Let me check if I'm audible. Hello? Yes, I'm audible. So I think this is my second take because for some reason our active presenter did not take the last 5 minutes of my recording with the audio, so I have to do this again. So the requirement 1 states we need to show that graphics.jar is installed in the project. So there we go. That's there. It's installed over there. Wait, just a minute. Yeah, there it is. So we take that. I've actually submitted already this demo form. I just have to show it for the presentation purposes. And going about to the about method, for this about method, what I have done is that, why did I just open this? Yeah. Okay. For the about method, which is the one which is not overridden, I've done it. I've in the switch statement, in the case area, I've made it like this, about t, and if I call that, it'll give me, it'll draw the figure which is given in the non-overridden one. So that's there. That's one. Structure, and the next one is structured as requested with turtle system.java extending turtle graphics. That's there as well. As you can see, turtle system extends turtle graphics using inheritance concept. Calls about on press of on-screen button. The on-screen one which I have is the one which is mine, the overridden one. This one. That's what it is. Take that. Moving on to requirement 2, moving to pen down. In pen down, just to show if it works. I don't know what's wrong with my cursor. Pen down. I need to turn left, move forward a little bit. Yeah, pen down works. We take that. Pen up. Okay, I'll show that as well. I call the method pen up. It shows pen is not in use. So if you look at the dialogues over there, it's showing us what state it is in. So move forward at 200 pixels to show a wide area without the pen drawing anything, which shows pen up was called. Moving ahead to turn left command with and without parameter. So turn left without parameter will turn 90 degrees by default, but if I call any parameter, that will work as well. And it'll give us turns left 100 degrees. That works. Moving on to turn right with and without parameter. I'm sorry for going very fast. Turn right 90 degree. I'm not okay. Let's not give any parameter. Yeah, it still moves 90 degrees as it shows over there in the dialog area. Turn right with a parameter works as well, which gives us turns right 100 degrees. So both of them work as well. Forward command, by default it works without. It doesn't work without a parameter, so we have to use, as I've been using it till now. I just go backward and show it again. Meanwhile, I just showed backward command as well. Alright, so backward command, which doesn't work without a parameter as well. Go backward to 200 pixels. Yes, it does. You can see the dialog over there. Moving ahead to the color command, such as red. I think we already pinned down, so I've turned it already red. So let's go to blue. As you can see, pen color changed to blue. It says forward 100. Wait, I didn't do that. I didn't change the color. Pen was not down. Sorry. Pen down. Now I go forward. Yes, now it does work. I move turn left. I change the color to red. Move forward. That's red. I turn left again. Change the color to green. Move forward again. Green also works. Now there is one color which is white. As you can see, I should show blue, red, green. Blue, red, green. White is remaining. I just take that. Blue, red, green. White remains. Turn left. Go. I change the color to white. As you can see, the dialog always shows what I do over there. Forward 100. Yes, we got a box with 4 different colors now. Reset and new commands. Reset command. So what is reset command? Reset command says it works with turtle pointing down. Display doesn't clear, so this box should remain. Okay, fine. Look at that. Yes, it moves into its initial position. I have to take the turtle away, as it says in the new command that new commands with turtle works with display clear, but turtle remains in the same position. So I need to turn left, move forward somewhere else, somewhere further. Then I have to call the function new. I'll show it on the screen clearly. New. Everything is clear. Turtle doesn't remove from its position. So this both works. Validating commands, which is part of the requirement 3. So in this one, this is actually a very interesting one. Forward, it says to type 5 commands, it won't understand. Alright, I just type forward. So it is invalid command or no parameter provided. Backward doesn't work, same thing. I move forward 100, works. But if I say forward, like that, it won't work. So in this code I have to show that how it works. So in this case, if I go to the forward section into my code, okay, I hope the screen recording is catching all this. If I go there, as you see that it checks the if command, checks that if the full command of length, I mean this command, okay, this process command passed over there in the command line is split into it's split, and this value of command getting split is assigned to full command, which is an array of string. As you can see, string turtle system.full command, and it checks if it's of 2, the length is 2 or not, which means one has to be a command and the other has to be a parameter, and I initialized the second element, which is the parameter one of the command, to a variable parameter, which is also a string variable, but in the further code we change it to an int variable, an int value. So yeah, that's how it checks. That's how it checks if it was a correct one. So once we go into switch, it checks if the spelling was correct. I typed forward spelling wrong, backward spelling wrong, just because the case over here checks if it was the right spelling and correct option. So that's what it is. I hope this one is recording me and the video as well, because the last video wasn't recorded. Like a few minutes of it wasn't recorded. I hope that doesn't happen again. Okay, so moving on, if that was taken in the video, this forward part. So yeah, that's how it throws me over here, I think. Yeah, invalid command or no parameter. So over here it was type 5 commands, it won't send short report, it's invalid. I type something else, invalid command. I type forward 100, it goes forward. Type something else, invalid command or no parameter. Actually what it does is that it is doing 2 things with 1 condition. I'll come to that in just a moment when we go to detecting the valid command with invalid parameter. So detecting valid command invalid parameter is that oh sorry, I go to this forward thing, okay, and I call forward. I mean, I don't do anything, it just gives me invalid command no parameter forward, because I did not do anything. I did not give the second element of the string, I mean the array. I type forward 100, it gives me. If I type, wait, it won't go off the screen right now. So if I type anything else, just forward, it won't go. Why? Because over here, if you see in the switch statement, it has to be of length 2. If it's not, then it'll go to the else if part, which says it has to be of length 1. If it's not, then it will give the default one, that invalid command or no parameter. That means there is no parameter given here. Because what happens is that now forward is of just length 1. So it goes here. It checks like, oh, let me see that if it's one of these. Let me see if forward without a parameter is one of these. When it checks if it's not one of these, then it gives the default one, the no parameter provided. So it does two things with just one code. It checks invalid command and checks if a parameter was provided for those commands which need a parameter, which needs a parameter. Sorry. Okay, so that's done. Moving on to the non-numeric parameter. Okay, let's see, this will be interesting. It has to give this one. If I type forward 12 EP, something like that, see, it gives me invalid, it means it's a non-numeric one. Why? Because I have used a try and catch over here, where in try, this if statement checks if the parameter was turned into an int from a string. If yes, then it assigns the value of the string variable which is turned into int to this parameter, this int variable param, and then it calls the forward method. Otherwise, if this try goes wrong, it will catch this as a number format exception if it sees anything in the param part other than a number. That's what it is. That's how it works in the code. So I think that's works. I mean that's that requirement is done. We go for bounce param, for example. You could show that you can't move the turtle off the screen. Alright, I'll show that. Now if you see the turtle is already over there, I'll just try to go can left again, try to go to that area. Now see, it won't go, it'll stay there, it will stay in that position. That's how it works, it doesn't go. Now if I pass forward 5000 and excessive, it says parameter upon again. If it goes out, if I'm passing a parameter which is like excessively high, like a 5001, or if I pass forward -10, it will show me parameter out of bound. In the code, it handles like this. So in that part where you saw that if I pass forward 5000, it doesn't work. Why? Because I have put in a condition that the bounds must be between 500. I mean, they must be less than 500 and more than 0. So both minus and parameters more than 500 will not work. And as of that x position, x and y positions, the place where I showed, I've given that in the condition as well, that it should not pass 0, the 0 value of the x in the dimension, the x and y dimensions, that the turtle should not go off the screen. So that's how it doesn't let it go out. If it does, if any of these goes wrong, if any of these gets false, this else part is called. The parameter is out of bound. And same is the case with y. I think I could have made these two like in a separate function and refactored the code a bit, but I wish I had that time. So same is the case with this thing. It does the same for this. Moving on to requirement 4, saving loading, my favorite part, which works amazingly nice. I just close these two and draw something here. Pin down. Okay, pin is in use now. Turn left. It turns left. I go forward 100. Then I turn left again. I change it to low. I go forward again. I try to save it. I can use this menu bar as well, but I'll use this area for now. A dialog box appears, which I implemented using the file selection, the JFile chooser class. Oh my god, it's 1 AM here. Okay, I can save it as this image 3 false and anything, any name in the PNG format. If you see, you can remember that it's in the PNG format. I'll show you in the code as well. So that is saved. If I want to load that, I can load it easily. Oh, sorry. I can load that. Wait, I'll just clear this part and then. Okay, now I'll load that part. I'll load this image as image349.png. Yeah, we get it. So I think that works. Say and load and both work, as you saw. Alright, so I just did two things at once. I just showed in the code how saving and loading works. Okay, getting back. For saving, I use the JFile chooser class, which sets like a file selection mode. I use the documentation and implemented this, and this files and directories means that it opens that dialog box, and in that dialog box you can see all the files, all the directories which are saved in my system. So that's what it does. This set dialog title, what it does is that I can edit that top thing, this one. As you can see, this one, open a file. I can edit that using this part. This open a file, save a file. Alright, and this uses like a state. Okay, now if you had seen over there, if you had seen this code, it's very interesting. What it does is that if I choose any file, if I choose any image to open, then it will play this, then it will come to this else part. It will execute the else part, and where a file is created, and then I'm talking about the load file, where a file is created, and that file is put into buffered image, and it's checked whether that exists in the system or not. When it sees that, then the buffered image displays that on the screen. Alright, coming on. Otherwise, if I don't do anything, like for example, if I don't select anything, go for load, I don't select anything, just put cancel, it'll give me try again. Okay, how? Because of this code, this one. We're going to save file, which I have done. I should have done explained this one first. Same thing using the JFile chooser class. Alright, there's a state over here as well. If I don't choose to save anything, it'll tell me to try again. And over here it creates a file, and in that file what we do is that we get a buffered image, what is there on the screen, and save it. I mean write it in a file, in an image file, in the PNG format. And I'll just come to the save is equal to true part. It's very interesting. Okay, so that's how the save file and load file works. Moving on to, I just explained the codes. Moving on to loading image without saving it. That also works. That's interesting part. I love working on. I mean, I enjoyed working on that. It was hard, but loved it. Okay, I'll just show that. It will load if nothing is drawn, or nothing. I mean, the pen was not in use. Then it will load. As you can see, call load. It will work. But if I find, I mean, you should have my attention here. If I do the pen down, okay, go forward and draw anything, and then I try to call load, it won't let me. How? Because of these two Boolean variables, which are amazing. Save is equal to false and pen down is equal to false. What they do is that in the loading section, as you can see, I'll just show that part again. Before, save is equal to false, pen down is equal to false. Both are equal to false. Now if I don't load anything, where is the load part? Just a minute. Yeah, the save, if the save is false and if the pen down is true, like anything was drawn, because like if pen down was true, that means something was drawn. And if save is equal to false, like if it wasn't saved, then it will display the message save first. That is what this save is equal to true, which I just told a few moments ago. That's what this does. When I call this function, this turns into save is equal to true. That means the screen which I drew on the screen, the image which I drew on the screen was saved. So then it will let me load. Let me load the file. And when the pen down function is called, okay, what it will do is that it will turn this thing into true. So if this is true and save is equal to false, like it wasn't saved, then it won't let me load the image. So that's how the logic here works. A bit complicated, but I hope you got it. Okay, so that's how you cannot load an image without saving it. It works like this as well. I try to load, it'll tell me save. Alright, if I clear everything, new, reset, try to load, it won't let me do it. It'll tell me to save first. So that logic worked for me. I don't know what this one means, like GUI dialogues, it says. I don't know what it means, but I use this thing. Like whatever command is being typed, like pen down, you can see this pen is in use now. Forward 100, it will say me it went forward 100 pixels. Reset command was invoked. Sorry, wrong spelling for reset. Reset command was invoked. Even for errors, it shows that message. So I use some dialogues, but I don't think it's in GUI form, so I don't know if I can get marks for that. Alright, inheritance. Let me check if it's. Okay, moving back to requirement 5. Override about button. This is very easy. It works here, as you can see. It works. So I call the about. I override it, and I give mine this 3 spiral circles, and I give my own version number there. That's how I do it in the code. If I hadn't shown, yeah, that's how I do it. That's the code. Does it mention you have to show in the code? Yeah. Alright, now comes the circle. I should press the circle one. Yeah, it gives me a big circle. I think I should have been more creative here, but I couldn't be. I'm sorry for that. So yeah, that's how I use the grid graphics context here to override the actual circle method which was given in the class, TurtleGrafx class. I override that, and this is the code for that. Okay, so these are done. Pen command with red green. I think we had showed this above, like red green works, but I'll show it again, no problem for that. I'll just do a new to clear everything. Pen down, turn left, green, forward 100, make it blue, forward 100, make it red, forward 100. See, green, blue, everything works. All of them, red, green, blue. Yes, I have done things that were not asked for. I think I should show that, right? I'm not sure. Yeah, this, you can see this code over here. Select file selection mode and set dialog title. This calls that files and directories dialog box, as you saw, like this one. Like if I'm loading anything or saving anything, yeah, there you go. See this thing. Things comes up. I think this wasn't asked for, so I just did it on my own using that JFile chooser class and some ideas. And same goes for the load one. I have implemented the second part which I was asked for, a menu bar. Over here, as you see, this menu bar gives me the about method. This menu bar lets me do load and save. I wish I could have, not a wish, I could have done more over here, like more options, but I wish I did have time for that. I could do it easily, just the time didn't allow me. Okay, so that's it. So thank you so much. I'll submit I don't know if I should submit this again because I've already submitted with all the requirements in my first take of the video. So thank you so much. Thank you.